My name is Kevin Martinez. I'm 27 years old. I live here in San Diego, California. I was born here in San Diego and raised in Tijuana, across the border, our neighbor city. Both of my parents are Mexican, so yeah, of course, I'm Mexican. Fast forward to today, I'm an electrician working for the union here in San Diego. I'm a journeyman and obviously an influencer, I believe, or how they refer to, through my Instagram, which is Sparky, which most people know me by. So how I got into the field, it's a pretty long story. I've already talked to a few people about it, but it all goes back to, I think, after high school. High school, I mean, like every other high school student, you're kind of lost trying to see what you're gonna do after high school, right? You're just following the crowd. You don't want to get left behind, so you join your community college, which is something that I did in high school. I don't think I ever saw somebody from the trades walking by or just, school fair or anything like that, talking about the trades. So my first idea was going to my community college. After my community college, I decided to be in graphic design, which I later switched to my minor, and my major, I started my business administration. My dad was already doing his thing. He's glazer, which is window installation. So that's kind of like a family business. He was working for one of my uncles, and he's been doing it until this day. So my main goal was to graduate from business administration and help out my dad in his business, right? I did it for 3 years as a full-time student, and I was really into it. But unfortunately, I was involved in a car accident with my brother. Rest in peace, which, it's something that I struggled with. I think after that year in 2015, I lost a brother, and it hit home, this is somebody that close goes through like the grief and all that. So I was bouncing around. I quit college, so I dropped out. I tried to go back, and obviously I couldn't focus. I started joined a temp agency, and I was doing different jobs, trying to stay busy. It wasn't until like I got better. I did survive the accident, and it's kind of like one of the things that made me, I think, stronger. Just having that patience to push through and focus on myself, and knowing that I'm the only person that can like get better, not without like anybody's help. Because if I felt sorry for myself, then I would still like be in bed rest or being struggling to walk. So I pushed myself a lot, and once I got better, one of my cousins contacted me, and he asked me if I want to be a driver for his company, just delivering tools. And I jumped right on it. I was like, I'll do it, whatever it is. I went like that week, and they hired me on the spot, and I became a driver for that company. It was an electrical company here in San Diego known as Helix Electric. And I worked for them from 2016 to 17 for a full year. And as I was working there, I started like going to every job site, seeing different job sites, seeing different superintendents, all these kids as apprentices, which at the moment I did not know what an apprentice was. So I started asking questions. I'll see everybody in the office, from project managers, the hiring manager, superintendents. So I went up to him and asked him what was the process to become an apprentice, an electrical apprentice. And he just looked at me with a smirk and said like, "Oh, you're ready now." And I was very interested on doing so. And like I mentioned, my dad was a glazer. So I asked him at the moment, what should I do? Should I jump into the electrical field, or now that I feel better and stronger, should I go work with you and also in construction? And he just supported me on the idea of being an electrician and said, if you're already there, might as well try it, right? You don't lose anything, and you always know that at the end of the day, you can come work with me. So I jumped on the apprenticeship. From the moment I talked to my hiring manager, in a month, he had me on the job site. The testing was a little bit different, and it's something that I get asked like every time on social media. How did I join an apprenticeship? Which it wasn't that hard for me, but I understand that everybody's situation is different as far as joining an apprenticeship. Yeah, that's pretty much how I got into the field and being an electrician. I pushed through and started just loving the process of being an electrician, the wires and everything, the job sites, which came later on, the Sparky. But at the moment, I think journeyed out this year and became a journeyman here in the state of California, and enjoying every minute of it. One of the reasons I also jumped into the whole mission of sharing awareness to the younger generation, because me, myself, I see myself in those kids, being lost. Therefore, I feel like the need of, just helping them out and guiding them to that direction. As of the trades not always being a backstep, but also something where you can find a career and grow out of it, which is something that I was never talked to about until I found myself in that position of, joining the trades and doing better and making a career out of it. And now even, becoming an influencer and having support from many different companies of what I'm doing. So it's great, and it's something that a lot of people need to look into, and also, like you guys are doing, share it to the society that the trades is also a good and great job. Just jumping into the trade of being an electrician, it was a whole different um, journey as of me helping my dad on side jobs or just with my uncle and his company, because it was something I had never done before. I did struggle at first. Obviously, like they call it here in the field, being very green. I did not know nothing going to the field, but it was something that I was willing to work through and learn from. Obviously, we do go to school in our apprenticeship, which also helped me learn the basics and grow out of that. Seeing the whole perspective or theory in electricity, but also having hands-on in the field, right? In the job side, and learning every day, trying to make myself better at what I'm doing. And like I tell a lot of people nowadays, they have YouTube, Google, anything to make yourself and your craft better, right? You can always work and put in your own time. So I think that's something that I would always do, go online, and every day, if I was working on something, running conduit, wires, things like that, I will do my own research and try to get better at what I was doing. And I think that's what led me to today, just working hard in my own time and having that dedication to become better. I live my life pretty much around my brother, and I know a lot of people have different things in their life that they push through or that motivate them. But for me, it's just waking up every day. It's a blessing, and I think that's enough motivation for me to go out every day and just push myself to the better. If I'm already in the job, give it 100%. If I was going into the trades, knowing that I was going to give it 100% regardless. If not, just find something that I would enjoy and be happy with. So motivation for me, it's something that it's always there, and I don't really struggle with. When we talked about this question, I started thinking, and I believe for those that were following my journey, I went to the East Coast on December and January of this year. And that's my first trip ever. So I went to Virginia and Washington as a journeyman, and I realized how much I had learned. The whole project where I could be left alone, and they'll tell me what needs to get done, and I know how to do it, what material I need, and at the end of the day, do it the right way, to like installing lights and having that end result where all the lights turn on, no issues and things like that, and just running wire and being able to rely on myself and my work, and knowing that they will like it as well. I'm at a level where I'm pretty comfortable in working alone, and also being able to teach those around me what I know, and being able for them to understand what we're doing as well. Yeah, and it's something I preach all the time. Like for other younger people starting the trades or just apprentices, know what the why you're doing it, and not just be installing it, right? Always ask questions to the people above you, and if you're curious, just ask questions all the time. Just know that it's going to be rewarding at the end, that it's going to pay off when they finish, that it's not as hard as they think it is. I believe a lot of people, younger generation especially, think when they think of construction, it's just hard labor. And I will just give them a tip of try it out, give it 100%, and be happy doing whatever you guys think that you guys are going to do. Know that it is something that you guys are going to do for the rest of your life. So might as well enjoy the journey. Not everybody's journey is the same, but stay motivated, stay positive. You guys can always do better. And, if you guys feel down, just keep pushing, take one day at a time, and it'll pay off in the end. Trust me.